Am I the AH for refusing to let my ex-husband take my kids early for visitation? My ex-husband and I are currently going through a divorce, and we just recently have gotten to the point where we can, for the most part, be around each other without issues. I'm leaving for a 5-day trip in May, and before we became cordial with each other a couple of months ago, I had originally planned for my father to take our kids for my part of the custody arrangements during that time frame. Our current agreement is that I have them on Friday, and he takes them Friday evening to Sunday afternoon. However, my ex isn't currently working due to an injury, so he offered to take the kids the entire time instead. I am completely fine with this, but our daughter, 3 years old, has swim lessons the day I leave, Thursday. When my father was going to watch them, he was just going to take our daughter to swim lessons, have a sleepover with both kids, and do the drop-off himself the next day, according to our standard schedule. But since my ex wants to take them a day early, he wants to skip swim lessons that day altogether since we don't live in the same town. Now, if this was a year-round thing or a longer program, I would have no issue with her missing a day to hang out with her dad. However, there are only 8 classes total in the program that I paid for, so missing one class is a little bit bigger of a deal. We also only do professional lessons once per year, so it's not like this is something that comes up every couple of months. I tried to find some middle ground and came up with several solutions for this issue. He could stay at my house for the few hours between when I have to leave for the airport and when swim lessons start, and head to his house after the lesson is over. My dad could hang out with the kids until it's time for swim lessons, and my ex could pick the kids up from my dad's house at that time and take our daughter to her lessons himself. My dad could keep them through swim lessons, taking her himself instead, and meet my ex at the usual halfway point after her lessons were over. My dad could keep the kids the whole day Thursday, do a sleepover like originally planned, and my ex could pick them up at any point the following day. Everyone could stick to the original plan, and my ex could pick the kids up from my dad at the usual place at the usual time on Friday. He shot all of these down, stating that he wasn't comfortable being at my house without me there, and he wasn't comfortable picking the kids up from my dad either, regardless of whether it was at his house or at the usual pickup spot. I think this is a bit over the top, and that sometimes it's necessary to put yourself out a bit to do things that benefit your children. However, he is now completely refusing to even consider taking our daughter to swim lessons, and has demanded that I let him take the kids on Thursday, and that I will just have to deal with our daughter missing one day of swim lessons. I told him that unless he was going to take her to swim lessons, that he could not have them on Thursday, and he would have to wait until the regular agreed upon time on Friday. I would also like to note that swim lessons are extremely important to me, which my ex knows. My dad has a pool in his backyard, and while the door to the backyard is secure, I want my kids to know how to get out of the pool if they fall in. As a child, one of the neighborhood kids that I used to play with drowned in their pool in their backyard from falling in and not knowing how to swim, and I will do everything in my power to prevent that from happening to my children. That's why I'm so adamant about her not missing any days of swim lessons. So, am I the a-hole?